Hi! This video serves to elaborate on a music breakdown based on my interview in EMCC to the Beat video. I was very honored to collaborate with Afterscience to participate in a reverse choreography event that was organized by EMCC. So reverse choreography means the dancer dances to no music and the musician compose to fit the dance. This can be challenging to some dancers who are used to moving to music and some musicians who are used to composing without visual cues. If you haven't watched my episode, I suggest you pause this video, watch that episode, and come back. The link is here in that eye icon or in the description box. I assume that you have watched that episode. As you can see, the dance that we received was challenging. I wrote the dance elements onto a music sheet and broke it down into 5 sections based on Jackie's emotion and tension. So part A is serious, part B is trapped, part C is glaring, and part D is soft and determined, while part E is hopeful. Each section has a different guide beat that leads to different rhythm. The idea was to compose based on her rhythm and movements. In this track, I wanted to include a melody line which acts as a chorus. So we have this melody line appearing in several locations with different variation. For example, here, and the last part where I sang, "If you want to see us." This lyrics is actually from a famous quote by Frank Lane. I thought that this fit this piece really well. Okay, besides that, this 4 beginning notes also appear in a different location. For time purposes, I have speed up this melody line to 2 times faster. Basically, the green part stays the same for part 1 dance and part 2 dance. Let's take a quick listen. And the next note following this depends on the emotion that Jackie wants to express. So the note goes down when she wanted to express a more negative emotion. Whereas in the second variation, the front part stays the same. And here, in the second part of the dance, she wanted to express something more light-hearted and brighter. So the next note actually goes upwards. You get a sense of satisfaction listening to this melody line. It's like going up and down, taking a deep breath. And in the third part where I included lyrics, you can see that the notes more or less look the same as the second variation. The main differences is how the rhythm sounds. I first created a guide beat to help me recognize the perceived tempo of each section. Then this guide beat draft was refined later on when the compositions are almost complete. Remember this section C?
So as mentioned earlier, Shadowtail's interpretation of the dance here between bars 9 and 13 was that dancer felt trapped. So we believe a trap beat here will be appropriate.
Afterscience gave me this hi-hat pattern which was very stable. So this has a stable beat. But I wanted something that gives a perceived forward momentum. I wanted the music to move forward because of this hi-hat pattern. So I created a variation from his hi-hat. So this pattern, especially the last 3 notes, gives me an impression that there will be a next note. It's as if bam, the next note, pam following that. And to stop this forward momentum, I simply remove the last 3 notes. The expectation of having a next note is gone. When played with the bass and clap, in section D and E, the overall mood lightens up. I wanted the percussion to sound colorful and stable, so I made this guide beat. I varied the rhythm on a tribal drum into these 2 variations. You can see that the guide beat and the treble drum lines up very nicely. Here, 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 here. The second variation is based on Jackie's slight dampened motion. Then Afterscience identified this rhythm as Mumbaton.
And later in the song, I realized that Shadowtail's tribal drum stem had a Mumbaton style rhythm, so I used the same kick, clap, and 808 bass from earlier section to make a Mumbaton style beat.
He also used claps to emphasize the strong beats. Besides the Mumbaton rhythm, I also wanted to emphasize the steadiness of this phase with kicks and bass. Together with the Mumbaton rhythm and this steady beat, it sounds like this. I gave this tumbling movement this music contour. This descending pattern is further enhanced by another layer of descending notes at a higher pitch. By the way, I didn't notice that this is a tritone interval when I was writing this sequence. And at the end of the pattern, I added another higher pitch line to show how low this pattern has reached. This line also helps to keep the tension of the tumbling effect. This kick is quite jarring. Before the kick, Jackie slowed down and paused briefly. In response to that movement, I did this. These are fast notes, pause, and a large jump in pitch. As in how high the pitch is, this is the gap. Later on, Jackie did something similar, but this time I added a low note before the pause to follow her movement of bending forward. Another interesting movement is this part. After many intense motion, Jackie slowed down and gave a proud-looking head turn. This motion broke the entire energy flow. It's like everything stops abruptly and crumbled down. So I strung the music space very rapidly and make everything silent, leaving only the vocal fry to shine the spotlight on her. Immediately after the head turn, Jackie changed her movements into slow and graceful motions, and her expression softens. I used longer notes and lighter melody to follow her movement when we transit to section D. There was a section where Jackie looked like as if she was trapped with glaring eyes. I used a synth to create a cinematic effect like something is going wrong. I also sampled the synth to make a sarcastic laughing sound.
I also added a few scenes here and there to layer and match with Shadowtail scenes. With a vital VST and also a resonator.
These are the highlights for the track Weather the Storm. If you are interested, take a listen to only the lead melodies, followed by the whole track. If you want to see the sunshine, you have to weather the storm. If you want to see the sunshine, you have to weather the storm. By the way, be sure to check out the rest of the episodes in this To The Beat series. And also check out our reaction and how the music goes with the dance in our episode. That's all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Bye!